We did it, herd. 1,000 subscribers. From the bottom of my hoof-stomping, lore-loving, cow-shaped heart, thank you. This channel started as one falling cow screaming into the warp, and now there's a whole herd of us. A literal stampede of lore-hungry, meme-loving weirdos, and I love each and every one of you. Y'all have milked that sub button like pros, and I'm so grateful for the support, the comments, the memes, and the wild ride we've had so far. But we're not stopping here, guys. Oh no. This cow's just getting started. We've got some big boys on the horizon. Which Space Marine from every Legion is the strongest? And let me tell you guys, I'm on page 30 of that script, and it's killing me. And guess how many Legions I've done? 9. It's flabbergasting how long that one's gonna be. And then we have how strong is warp form Corax. That's gonna be fun. We'll probably follow that video up with why Perturabo ascended to demonhood. That'll be a fun one. And then I might do a guide to the Siege of Terra books. You know, a sequel to the Horus Heresy reading guide. So those will all be fun videos. I'm still pretty new to this whole YouTube thing, so bear with me. I'm a silly cow, and I'm trying to crank out as much content as possible. It's really fun, guys, I'm not gonna lie, because I love Warhammer as much as the next guy, and it's fun, you know, just making this content. So I hope you guys bear with me. And if you want to see a special video or something specific, just let me know, and I'll take a crack at it. But today, we're doing something utterly moving. Get it? Get it, guys? Welcome back to Cow's Corner, where the lore gets weird and the milk flows free. And what better way to celebrate 1,000 subs than by asking the most important question in the entire 40K universe. Which Primarch would I kiss? That's right, I, a silly, goofy, warp touch cow, am going to look at the 18, or I guess 19? Genetically engineered demigod brothers and decide which ones are smoochable. This is cow science, people. Let's kiss some Primarchs. Hey there, guys, a falling cow here, and we're going to be using Tier Maker to make a tier list on which Primarch we'd want to kiss. And let me first say I'm obsessed with tier lists. I think they're awesome, and I've always wanted to do one and post it on YouTube with just me ranking things. I'm like obsessed. So this is like my coming out party for well, I guess technically it's both, because I'm ranking Primarch for kisses. It's crazy. Never thought I'd post that on YouTube, but I guess we're doing it anyways. Once again, thanks for 1,000 subs. It's a really big deal, honestly, for me. I've never thought I'd ever hit that milestone, but you guys did it for me, and you have no idea how happy that makes me. It's pretty awesome. I'm the happiest cow in the pasture, so to speak. But yeah, we're gonna be ranking Primarchs using Tier Maker today. We got 5 categories here. By the way, there's no script for this video. I'm just kind of going out of my mind and just going to say random things, and it's all going to be recorded and posted on the internet for some odd reason. But yeah, we're here for it. So we got all 18 of the Primarchs here. We got 5 tiers. Let's talk about how we're going to do this, okay? So there's 5 tiers here. S tier, the best, the kissableness. They're just so goddamn... I'm down bad for these Primarchs. I'm down bad. S tier. I would sell my child to them just to kiss them. That's S tier. A tier, it's like, okay, not like you're still pretty awesome. I'm like kind of down bad, but not as down bad as S tier. I would probably do a heinous activity, but I wouldn't sell you my child. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. I don't know why children being sold became part of this video, but yeah, that's the S tier. Yeah, but this is the sell children just to kiss. This is a heinous activity. B tier, you know, it's like, okay, I'd be down to smooch, but you know, it's like, okay, like it's the good category. Super cool, awesome, all right. C tier, I'm trying to avoid you. You kind of stink. D tier, you're just a piece of shit. Stay away from me. I will call the police on you. Yeah, see, as you can tell, there's no script. This is gonna be a crazy video. So I put them all in order. We have 1 through 20. We got the lions starting. We'll finish with Alpharius. How we're gonna do this is I'm gonna go through each Primarch and just kind of chat about them. What I like about them, what I don't like about them. Talk about the lore. Talk about how stupid they are. Looking at you, L. Johnson. Oh my God. I see Lehman Russ. I just want to punch him in the face. Look at him. He's got a stupid little ponytail. God, he even looks like a furry on this damn thing. Man, I just want to punch him in the face. Sorry. I let my Lehman Russ hate come out. God, I hate him. Oh my God, look at Dorn though. I'm like fucking down bad for this motherfucker. Damn. Whoa, crazy start to this video, fellas. Am I right? Okay. I can't believe I'm posting this on the internet. I'm not gonna edit this either, guys. Like this is just gonna be like full on a falling cow experience. This is gonna be the falling cow experience. You gotta get your ticket. Get in line. Get in line for the smooch show. Yeah, but we're gonna just talk about these Primarchs. What I like about them, what I don't like about them, and just like how smoochable they are. So like three different categories. We're gonna go in depth. The lore, what I like and don't like about them, how good looking they are, how smoochable they are, and if they deserve my love and affection. You know what I mean? Like Perturabo probably could use a kiss. You know, he's a piece of shit. The Khan, he's the goat. Mortarion though, he's a walking plague fridge. You know, we don't want to get near him. Oh, look at Magnus. Oh, look at that mane. Man, what a crazy video. Yeah, but that's how we're going to do this. I have no idea how long this is going to take. This could take like an hour or this could take 20 minutes. I think it's going to be long though. And I kind of want it to be long because it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, thanks again for 1,000 subs, guys. You mean the world to me. This YouTube thing is really, really fun. I love script writing. I love just diving in the lore. You could probably tell that I'm pretty obsessed with the Horus Heresy. It's definitely like one of my favorite parts in the lore, just overall. It's just way cooler because I love the Primarchs, as you could probably tell, I'm obsessed with them. Yeah, I'm making a freaking video on which ones I'd kiss. But yeah. We're probably gonna keep pumping out the Horus Heresy content, but if you guys want me to do like 40K or something like that, I'm definitely down. Wow, Angron. Jeez, I'm looking at him right now. What the hell is wrong with his face? Sorry. Whoa. As you can tell, I probably have ADHD. Alright, so yeah, let's summarize what I just said. We're gonna talk about the lore, we're gonna talk about how smoochable they are, and then we're gonna talk about if they deserve a smooch. Starting with Mr. Lion L. Johnson, the craziest name I've ever heard in my life. Let's get into it, lads. Alright, Lion L. Johnson is the first one on this list. Before we start, I gotta say that, so if I put him here, say, theoretically, he's number 1. So if, pretend I put Sanguinius there, he'd be number 2. So I just want to let that, where the fuck does he go? Oh, here we go. I just want to let you know that. So whoever's like down here, is the worst. I think he's a piece of poop and he should be left in a gutter. It's a little extreme, but it's the truth. Lion Johnson. What do I think about Lion L. Johnson? Okay. I think the Lion just kind of got screwed over by Games Workshop, quite frankly. He had a lot of potential, and Games Workshop just kind of makes him look like an idiot, to put it frankly. He's really secretive for things that should not be secretive. He doesn't tell Gilliman Conrad Kurz is on his ship for reasons, and I'm sure there's actually a reason for it, and I'm going to get bullied for it in the comments, but why would you not tell someone that? And then he ends up getting down to Ultramar, and then Gilliman's like, what the hell, man? And Lion's like, hey, man, I just wanted to keep it a secret for some odd reason, dude. Like, it doesn't make sense. And honestly, GW does that a lot. The Primarchs make very idiotic decisions, and I don't understand it. Like, no, don't get me started on this mother hecker. I'm gonna rip this guy a new one. Or let me see, where is this guy? I mean, he's kind of stupid, but like he's stupid, bro. They just make stupid choices. They just make very silly choices, and I get it. Like, they have to make the heresy happen, you know what I mean? Or like, there's no horse heresy. But like, did the Emperor not send these guys to school after he found them? Because they obviously can speak Gothic, and they're just stupid. Okay, but that's besides the point. The lion. Like I said, unnecessarily secretive. I feel like they don't do a very good job explaining why the lion is so secretive. Number 2, his character kind of just sucks. Like, he just kills one of his space marines randomly. In the book, I think it's Fallen Angels. He just backhands him and knocks his head clean off because he suggests they use librarians. And it's like, that's against the council, I'm killing you. It's like, okay, buddy. That's not very cool. Yeah, I just feel like the lion, his character, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. He's just kind of an idiot. And that's how I feel about him. I love everything else besides him. You know, he's got a cool design. He's a great duelist. I think I put him number 3 in my Primarch power rankings. So I do like his like character, but I think his personality sucks. This is like a tough take right here, but this is the blonde girl on Instagram with 10 million followers, but she has the personality of a brick wall. That's this person right here. That's Lionel Johnson, the sorority girl. Crazy take, guys. I'm posting on the internet. Now, how do we feel about how he looks? Okay, I need to bring him more centerfold right here. I need to like look at him. All right, he's got a majestic mane, guys. A majestic mane. Fuck, man, he's a good looking guy. I'm gonna say definitely smoochable, but does he deserve a smooch? Let's go over his actions, okay? So the lion gives Perturabo the siege weapons that he uses during the siege. Not very cool, man. Not cool. Kills one of his own space marines. Not very cool. Unleashes Conrad Kurz onto Ultramar. Not very cool. Does not go to the Siege of Terra. I mean, you could probably say, oh, he had to go to the Traitor Worlds or he couldn't get through the Ruin Storm. He didn't really try. I mean, there's reasons, but I think it's very silly that his character, you know, didn't try some other way to get to Terra. You know what I mean? I don't know, I might be just misinformed, but I think it's very silly. Yeah, I think he kind of does. I don't know. His own planet blew him up. That does kind of suck. Luther stabbed his butt. Oh man, I'm gonna say he does deserve a little smooch, but it's not. There's no tongue. There's no tongue involved. I'm gonna say Lion B tier. I'm gonna say B tier. You know, he's okay. I would give him a smooch, but he would not be my first choice. We'll put Lion in B tier for right now. I think that's a good solid spot. You know what I mean? I feel like the Lion just had so much potential and they just went nowhere with his character. He's present during the Imperium Secundus arc, and then he just kind of disappears. So lore-wise, it's kind of eh. He's got the attractiveness, you know. He looks like Tarzan, but a knight. Heck yeah. And then he kind of got screwed over during the heresy. You know, a lot of bad things happened to the guy. So let's put him at B tier. I'm feeling B tier, guys. You could totally argue with me, and I'd love for you to argue with me. That'd make my day, actually. You guys just yelling at me in the comments just makes my udders quiver. Crazy statement. Okay, Fulgrim is next. Scary. He looks scary, guys, in this picture. He looks like he's like just staring daggers at me. Man, got some crazy cheekbones though. Okay, Fulgrim. What do I think about him? Okay, Fulgrim. I love Fulgrim. I think he's a great character. He's just so screwed up. You know what I mean? I think he's a really great character. The love his fall to chaos. I thought his fall to chaos could have been done a lot better, but I think all of the Primarch's falls could have been a lot better. I think all of them were written very poorly, in my opinion. Totally argue with me if you want. But Fulgrim literally falling because of a sword it's kind of a lame cop-out. Like, they could have written this really in-depth, story arc where Fulgrim might be like, oh, the Emperor isn't perfect. I need to follow someone else who's perfect. Oh, Horus is perfect. Maybe I could find perfection with him or I'm an idiot, so maybe that's a possibility. Maybe it's not. But him just picking up a random sword and falling to chaos, and there's no attempt to, maybe Fulgrim, he's supposed to be a demigod. Fulgrim is supposed to be a demigod. Shouldn't he be like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be talking to this weird voice in my head? You know what I mean? And I could be wrong, yell at me in the comments again, but I don't know. It's just silly, and it once again comes to the fact that the Primarchs are stupid, man. They're just so stupid. It's silly, but I do like how Fulgrim, what happens to the Emperor's children. I really do like that piece of the lore. Where they slowly rot from Slaanesh, and then they get obsessed with experimenting with each other, and they just start getting real gross. And then the Noise Marines come. I love the book Fulgrim. Great book. I don't love Fulgrim's fall though, but I think overall I really do like the way they took his character through the heresy. He got like a proper amount of love, I'd say. He got his arc to the Dropside Massacre where he killed Ferrus Manus, and then he gets his arc where he ascends to demonhood, and then he kind of just pisses off. And I do kind of like that about his character. You know what I mean? It makes sense. Like, he's with Nakari, literally getting pegged. Not literally, but metaphorically, and probably literally. Both. On his pleasure world, and it makes sense, like, lore-wise. And he's just, like, really fucked up, man. Like, when he becomes a snake demon, it's, like, cool. Like, I like that shit. Which sounds really weird now that I'm saying out loud. But I really did like that. So lore-wise, I'd say Fulgrim, I like this guy. He's really screwed up, but his actions throughout the heresy, I love it. I love the Emperor's Children. They probably one of my favorite Traitor Legions. Now is he smoochable? Dude, look at this guy. Look at those cheekbones. He's so scary. It's like sexy. Crazy statement to put on the internet. Whatever. I'm just a cow, right, guys? It doesn't matter. But yeah, I would say Fulgrim's definitely smoochable. Does he deserve a kiss? No. This guy sucks. Like, he sucks, but it's so sucky that it's awesome. If that makes sense. So I like his lore. Definitely smoochable, but he definitely doesn't deserve his kiss. He kind of screwed everything over. Let's put him in A tier. I'm feeling A tier for Mr. Fulgrim here. Once again, you can argue with me if you want, but I really liked his lore. I think a lot of people did like his lore. He's one of those characters where you're like, oh, it's a tragic fall. And once again, I feel like it could have been done better, but I do like the Fulgrim Slaanesh connection, and I really like Fulgrim's ascension to demonhood. So, I mean, a couple notes for his like fall and corruption, but I think they did his character a lot more justice than L. Johnson. He got it, like, Fulgrim got a chance to show off his, like, show off, show his feathers off, so to speak. And Johnson kind of just like went nowhere in the lore. But Fulgrim, very smoochable, very scary, very sexy. Crazy. I also do want to add that Fulgrim is, I think, one of the few Primarchs that actually had a relationship before the Emperor found him. So definitely marks on that. He's definitely capable of kissing. This is a crazy video, guys. What have I gotten myself into? What the hell? Yeah, but I think Fulgrim's A tier. I would do some heinous acts to kiss the guy. I think it's a pretty good spot for him. He's a good character. I like him. He's got the cheekbones. I don't think he deserves the kiss, but he's definitely up there. I think A tier is perfect. Heinous acts for Fulgrim. Absolutely heinous. All right, so we got Fulgrim at A tier, L Johnson in B tier. I think those are pretty solid spots. I mean, I'd definitely be down to smooch Fulgrim. Johnson maybe. Yeah, pretty good start, guys. It's a crazy video already. Oh boy, look who we have next. Mr. Perturabo, the Lord of Iron. Oh boy. Now, I think everyone on the channel knows I don't really like this guy. I think he's a piece of poop, and he should be thrown in the ocean and eaten by sharks. And not like the friendly kind of sharks. Mean sharks. Yeah, I said it. He just sucks, man. Like, his character, there's just no redeeming qualities to him. And where Fulgrim is like he's a piece of shit too, but he's like a cool piece of shit. Like, he's so corrupted and filthy, it's awesome. Like, his character is so cool. Perturabo, his whole thing is that he's not appreciated. And that whole thing is like, it's stupid. Like, that's the reason why he goes traitor. Well, that, and he kind of destroys his homeworld, and he thinks the Emperor's going to be super mad at him. But he just sucks. And his character, he's just a perpetual man-child. He's kind of like, he just sucks, man. And the Iron Warriors are a cool legion. They, they're not very appreciated, and they get all these hard campaigns, but I just don't really like them. I do like the fact, though, that Perturabo doesn't give in to chaos till the very end, which I do think is very cool. I like when the traitor Primarchs, are resistant to chaos, but Perturabo, he just sucks. And I don't like that he just lets Horus kind of just let him do whatever he wants. He just transfers from the Emperor to Horus. Like, he needs a master, and I don't really like him, man. And I know the Iron Warrior fans are going to come to my house, kill my herd, take my farm, and just kill me and cook me in a steak. And sure, you can do that, but I just don't really like him as a character. And I just think he's a loser. He's a loser with cords in his head. Nerd type shit. Yeah. So Perturabo, I don't really like his character. I don't really like his lore. He kind of gets shafted in the heresy anyways. Fulgrim takes part of his soul in the Angels Exterminatus arc, and his soul is leaking for the rest of the whole heresy. And he does do a lot of the work in the heresy. He kind of carries the traitor effort. He brings Angron back. He's the mastermind of the whole siege. Kind of kicks Dorn's ass. I'm gonna say that. Kind of kicks Dorn's ass. And Perturabo does have the advantage of having vastly more resources, but he does kind of beat Dorn in the siege warfare of the Siege of Terra. So I mean, I'll give Perturabo that, and I understand why he quits the siege. I totally would quit the siege too if, my brother, who's literally a stink bomb, got elevated, got a promotion over me. I'd be like, that guy literally stinks. You can't even stand in the same room with him. Why are you electing him? But that's besides the point. I just feel like I just don't like his character, man. I just don't like him. I just don't like him. That's just as simple as it is. So, would I kiss him? This guy probably never leaves his Terminator suit. I'm not gonna lie. He probably reeks. He probably stinks, guys. I was thinking about this when I was thinking of making this video. I was like, holy shit. Perturabo probably stinks in this suit of armor. He probably smells like literal cat shit. He smells like cat shit, and no, I don't want to kiss him. Does he deserve a kiss, though? Kinda. I kind of feel bad for Perturabo. Even though I don't like him, he probably stinks. He's an asshole. Everything about him sucks. it kind of, I kind of feel bad for him a little bit, you know, but I also don't at the same time, if that makes sense. I feel like he kind of made bad decisions that led to him, you know, going down the road to heresy. And it's kind of similar to Mortarion, where I don't really understand why you'd want to side with Horus in the first place. Like, I don't really understand Mortarion's whole fall. It's like he gets so pissed off that his dad killed his other dad. There's a lot of dad killings, but back to Perturabo. I feel like he kind of deserves a kiss, but at the same time he doesn't. Oh, so difficult. Why am I debating this? What the hell? Yeah, but I don't like him. I think he probably stinks. He looks like he has a bunch of cables in his head, so he's not like the best looking fella. I feel like he does deserve a little bit of a kiss, you know. So C tier maybe? Put him in C tier? I literally don't like him, but I feel like a lot of other characters, and we're gonna get into them in a little bit, deserve to be in D tier. And I feel like Perturabo, although his character is like kind of like, you know, he just plays the victim card so much, and it just pisses me off. But he's a genius. I'll say that much. He's a genius. He's an engineer. He's a mastercraft. I love when he beat the fuck out of Fulgrim. That was awesome when he grabbed him and just started smashing him into the table. That was iconic. I did like that. He does have some cool comebacks, but I just don't really like him as a character, like I just said. I don't really want to kiss him, but I feel like he deserves a little smooch, just because he carried the whole traitor campaign. You know, just for that, we'll put him in C tier. Okay, Iron Warrior, are you happy? Are you happy your boy is not in the I'm gonna call the police? He's in the I'm gonna try to avoid it, but if it happens, it happens type shit. Okay, Jaghatai Khan. Oh my god. This is a man right here. Whoa, guys. Jaghatai Khan is one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite Primarchs in the Heresy. He went from having no lore in the original Horus Heresy to Chris Wright writing Scars and The Path of Heaven, which made Jaghatai Khan iconic as hell. He goes from like being a no-name to being so cool and so awesome, and then that just gets even better in the Siege of Terra, where I feel like it's kind of glossed over, but he leaves the palace with his legion, with half of his legion, to go around the planet and save people. And he literally, Sanguinius tells him, Sanguinius says, you might die out there, dude. And he's like, will I save people? And he's like, yes. And he's like, this is what I'm made to do. I'm like, holy shit. Jaghatai Khan is my guy. He's my guy. I love him. I like how he also was like he didn't know what he was going to do. He saw that Magnus got fucked up by Russ, and he's like, what am I going to do? Am I going to side with Horus? Am I going to side with the Emperor? And I just love that he didn't know what to do. And he ultimately, picked right because Chaos is fucked. But I like his character. I really like that he is kind of different from the other Primarchs, but he's still loyal. You know what I mean? And him killing Mortarion and banishing him from the palace is one of the coolest duels in the whole Horus Heresy. Like, oh my god. Wow. Wow. That's all I'm going to say to that guy. I love Jaghatai Khan. He's just so iconic. Now, what do we feel about what he looks like? Oh my god, look at this man. Top knot, beard, mustache. Of course I'm smooching this guy. Does he deserve a smooch? Of course. S tier. S tier. Is this even a conversation? Jaghatai Khan, he's just the best. He is the bee's knees. Throughout the Horus Heresy, he has iconic moment after iconic moment, and that just continues in the Siege of Terra, and it's just at the peak, the climax, when he retakes the Lionsgate spaceport at the cost of being mortally wounded, but at the same time banishing a demon Primarch. is crazy. Insane feat and insane moment. Jaghatai Khan easily is an S tier pick. And we're followed up by this piece of shit, Leman Russ. I made a whole video discussing why Leman Russ is a waste of space, and it's true. Leman Russ stinks, guys. He smells like probably shit, pisses on the floor. He's a dog, and not in the good type of dog. He's a bad dog, bad boy. bad boy Leman Russ. I hope he comes back, not like relatively soon, but in the future, and he's kind of like really like depressed for his actions during the heresy, because they make no sense. So first off, he hates psychers, even though he technically is a psyker and he uses psychers in his legion, but he calls them ruined priests. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I think there's a reason that he thinks that the Thousand Sons are using too much of the warp, or they're too inquisitive about the warp, and that's why he freaks out about it. But it doesn't really make a lot of sense that he's so angry about it. He's just like kind of a bitch about it, guys, and it pisses me off. And then we get to the Prospero Burns part, where he attacks Magnus and he screws everything up. I know Magnus definitely did a lot of things wrong, but Leman Russ deciding to just attack Magnus because Horus, sent a different message. I mean, if I was Leman Russ, I would have been like, hey, maybe I should check that message, because the Emperor, when I left the throne world, told me not to kill Magnus, but then Horus told me to kill Magnus? Maybe I should double check. And then, you know what? The Custodes are kind of to blame for that too. Why didn't the Custodes say like, hey dude, the Emperor told you not to kill Magnus, not to bane him, not to blow up Prospero. But Leman Russ, he says, screw it. I'm gonna kill everyone down there. And I know there's like in Prospero Burns, where you see the Space Wolves side of the story, Leman Russ thinks that there's a spy with their legion, and he thinks he's talking to Magnus, but it's actually just a Zinch demon. But still, why wouldn't you just send a Vox message down to the planet and say, hey Magnus, hey man, let's surrender here and we can go home and eat some nachos, but instead he just starts firebombing the city. Like, okay buddy, yeah. So there's my first problem with Russ. He's just kind of an idiot, just like Perturabo. He's an idiot, and I like Perturabo more than Leman Russ. Let's get that clear. Number 2, okay, Leman Russ. First of all, his legion gets absolutely fucked by the Alpha Legion. I think the Alexis something campaign. I don't know. I'm the Nexus campaign or something like that. His legion gets fucked up and only gets saved by stupid shenanigans. So he gets back to Terra, and he goes back to Terra, and instead of staying there and sitting like a good boy, he says, I'm gonna go try to assassinate Horus Lupercal. I'm gonna go try to kill the War Master and end the war with my decimated legion. So he gathers his whole legion, he goes back to Fenris and enacts some weird ritual where he sees I think it's called like a word version of him, and that's supposed to give him more power, and he knows that he's supposed to use the Spear of Rust to kill Horus. And let me take a side note there. Leman Russ hates sorcery, hates psycheries. Why the fuck did he do that? Why would he ever do that if he literally was so pissed at Magnus for, being a psyker, and then he does a ritual? He does a weird ritual, guys, with 7 of his ruined priests. What the hell? He goes into the warp. It pisses me off. He's so hypocritical. He's such a hypocritical dog. Okay. So he takes his legion, he does this psyker ritual, and he goes to find Horus. And he does find Horus, and they have a great duel in Wolfsbane. It's a great duel. Russ is clearly outmatched, I'm going to say. Horus is pretty swelled on chaos. This is after he gets his power boost at Dwell. And he's not fully boosted yet. He's still a little conflicted. I think half of his soul is still fighting in the Immaterium, but Russ gets pretty beat handily, but he manages to wound Horus with the Spear of Russ, which, the Spear of Russ, it clears all the corruption from Horus, and Russ has a killing blow, and we all know Russ doesn't do it. So he goes to kill Horus, has the opportunity to kill Horus. Does he kill Horus? No. In fact, Horus manages to, recuperate and mortally wounds Leman Russ that he has to get carried out by his whole legion who dogpile on Horus just to save their idiotic Primarch. I hate him so much. I'm going to keep going too because it pisses me off. So, Leman Russ gets carried out. His legion gets absolutely decimated. They're like the Raven Guard, the Salamanders, the Iron Hands. They're destroyed. They're non-existent. They're gone from the Horus Heresy. They have no impact on the rest of the Horus Heresy. And what they have, pretty much what Leman Russ did was he wounded Horus, who is conflicted with the Chaos Gods. And what ends up happening, I think a couple months later at the Battle of Bet Argamon, is Horus collapses, and then shenanigans ensues, and the Sons of Horus realize that, Horus is not fully there. Half of his soul is still fighting the Chaos Gods because he doesn't want to fully, concede to them. I'm ranting. I'm freaking ranting here, guys, and I'm going to keep going because I hate this guy. I hate him. Okay? You'll see where he's going. Yeah. So he does that, and then Malachurst manages to, take out that soul, the part of Horus's soul that's resisting the Chaos Gods. So Horus comes, he reawakes. He was in a coma the whole time. He comes back awake from the wound that Russ gave him, and now he's completely given himself to chaos. He is the living embodiment of the 4 Chaos Gods. And that version of Horus is the strongest, one of the strongest beings in Warhammer 40K. If you haven't, go watch my video. I did a whole video on that version of Horus Lupercal. That wouldn't have happened if Leman Russ didn't stab him. And the Emperor probably would have fought a weaker version of Horus that was still conflicted, that was still only using half of the power of the Chaos Gods, and he probably would have obliterated Horus. But instead, he faces the avatar of the 4 gods of chaos because Leman Russ stabbed him. And I know that's a pretty rough correlation. It might have happened regardless, but I'm going to say that's a direct result of Mr. Leman Russ stabbing him with the Spear of Russ. I think that's a solid thought process. And to top it all off, Leman Russ is wounded, during that battle, during Wolfsbane, during his fight with Horus, and he can't even participate in the Siege of Terra. So this fucker destroys half his legion, ultimately results in Horus, becoming the avatar of chaos, and thus mortally wounding the Emperor, and then he can't even fight during the Siege of Terra. And I think that's part of his whole character arc, is he's just an idiot, and he makes really poor decisions, and I think that's part of his character. That's his character arc. But it doesn't make me want to like him. I don't understand Space Wolf fans. Like, I understand the 40K version of them, but in 30K, they suck. They just suck, guys. They just suck. And I want to hear Space Wolf fans defend him. Like, what about his actions make you guys like him? I really don't understand. I'm like really mad about Leman Russ. I got really pissed about that. You could tell I got pissed. Okay, so I don't like his character. I honestly like his character less than Perturabo, if I'm being honest. Is he smoochable? What the hell, guys? Look at his face. He looks like a freaking loser with his little top knot. He looks like an animal. This is bestiality. This is bestiality if I kiss this man. Bestiality. Does he deserve a kiss? No. D tier. D tier. D tier. D tier. D tier. Leman Russ, I do not like him. I don't think I'll ever be convinced to like Leman Russ. Like, he just sucks, man. Like, he's one of my favorite characters is Magnus the Red. Okay? And he screws over Magnus. I know Magnus makes some terrible life choices, and we're going to get to that. But I just don't like Leman Russ, man. If he had stayed at Terra, imagine if he had stayed on Terra during the siege. That's another legion. That's more ships in the Solar War. That's more Primarchs on the ground. That's more guys to man the wall, to wait for a Butte. And if Leman Russ doesn't leave, then once again, I don't know if Horus is the avatar of chaos. And I don't think maybe that fight with the Emperor will be as close, or maybe the Emperor can beat him. And maybe the grim dark setting isn't occurring. You know what I mean? But at the same time, look at this dude. Why the hell would you ever want to kiss him? He looks like an animal. He looks like a wolf. He looks like he needs to be thrown back in the den. He's a furry. Let's just put it simply. He's a furry, an alcoholic furry with poor life decisions. That's Leman Russ rolled up into one. He's a dog, but in the bad way. He needs to heal. He needs to sit, boy, sit. Yeah, a little tangent there with Leman Russ. I just don't like him. D tier, first D tier. I think it's pretty solid though so far. Jaghatai Khan, Goat, Fulgrim, something. I just wouldn't want to kiss Leman Russ either. Like, ugh. Okay. This is where things get fun, guys. Oh my god. Look at this man right here. Whew. Look at that man. Rogal Dorn. Rogal Dorn. Oh my god. Let's talk about Rogal Dorn, guys. Rogal Dorn is one of the coolest Primarchs, in my opinion. And I know those Perturabo guys are like, what? He's stupid. Rogal Dorn's whole thing is that it's duty over emotions, will over feeling. And he's on Terra for the whole Horus Heresy, and you're like, oops. And you're like, why does that even matter? Like, how does that make him a cool character? Well, let me tell you, Rogal Dorn spends the whole Horus Heresy building up Terra, building up the whole solar system to defend against his brothers. His fucking brothers, guys. And everything just falls apart on him. Everything. His defenses don't hold. Terra falls pretty much. The Emperor is mortally wounded, and Sanguinius dies. He fails pretty much. He essentially fails in every single one of his duties. But how does that make him a cool character? It's insane. It utterly breaks him, which I absolutely love that about his character. He tries to do all this stuff and he fails. And by the end of the siege, he's just broken emotionally. And the coolest part about that is all this stuff is failing, and Khorne traps Rogal Dorn in his domain expansion, by the way. Yeah. Big Jujutsu Kaisen fan right here. I don't know if you guys know that show. I love that show. Yeah, but he traps Rogal Dorn in his domain, and he doesn't give in to Khorne's demands, which is just to simply let go and let your emotions take over. And Dorn, who's been through all this stuff, doesn't give in. What the hell? That's sick. That's sick, guys. Like, such a cool character. And I want to see like a scouring series where Rogal Dorn just lets his emotions go and he just starts murdering people. He just starts chainsawing people like Alpharius. I'm going to kill mother heckers. That's what I want to see, that Rogal Dorn. I want to see him in action. The Black Templar Rogal Dorn. That's what I want to see. So I really like his character. He has some great moments throughout the Siege of Terra and the Horus Heresy where he fucking kills Alpharius. That's super sick. But the Siege of Terra is where he really shines, because he's fighting a losing battle versus Perturabo. Like, Perturabo's a siegecraft genius, and Rogal Dorn's like doing his best with the resources he has. And obviously it's not going to work out for Rogal Dorn because he's vastly outnumbered. But he like keeps trying. Saturn is a great Rogal Dorn moment. He fights Fulgrim, fights a ton of Emperor's children. It's just sick. And I love Rogal Dorn. So I love his character. Great character. Is he kissable? Come on. Look at this face. Look at him. He probably showers, probably does all like the hygienic things. We're kissing Rogal Dorn. That's an easy yes. Does he deserve a smooch? What are we talking about? Rogal Dorn, number 1, beats the Khan. Another S tier. That's an easy one, guys. I mean, I love Rogal Dorn so freaking much. He is the bee's knees, in my opinion. I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit on for this, but I just love the Imperial Fist, and I think Rogal Dorn is he's just the guy, you know? I think for like, if you're going MVPs of the Horus Heresy, I would say Rogal Dorn is the MVP of the Loyalists. Hands down. He defends Terra against incredible odds, and he holds them off long enough that, I mean, Girlyman doesn't make there in time, but gets there in time to at least, clean up the traitors that are still there. I mean, you can make the argument that Sanguinius was maybe, or Rubute, but I mean, Dorn held the line, and that's what makes me love him. Deserves a huge smooch right on the lips, tongue included. We're going crazy. We're going down bad. I would sell my child and my cat to smooch this man. Crazy glazing, by the way. This is crazy glazing. I'm not trying to glaze the Imperial Fist, because that's literally what just happened. That was like 10 minutes of just straight glazing. But yeah, we're smooching Rogal Dorn. Conrad Kurz is next. Oh my god. Conrad Kurz. What a fella. What a fella, this Conrad Kurz. Schizophrenic, first off. That's for sure. He likes to flay people, likes to torture people. But let's talk about his character. Conrad Kurz, born on Nostromo, turns into Batman, essentially, with schizophrenic tendencies. Raises a legion. First off, why the hell did the Emperor give this guy Space Marines? Why? He landed on his planet. This guy's a freaking schizophrenic weirdo with the power of foresight, comparable to Sanguinius. And he's a crazy man. And he said, you know what? Get this guy 100,000 genetically engineered superhumans. Give them to him now. I want it now, and I want him to go take over planets. What? What was the Emperor thinking? I would have just shot him in the face or put him in like therapy. Something like smart. But we both know the Emperor isn't smart. So he gets his Space Marines. Obviously doesn't go well, and I mean he's already like pretty much a borderline traitor before the heresy even starts. So Kurz is a funny character because he honestly did a lot for the traitors, and I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about him. But Conrad Kurz kept the Lion busy for like a couple years in the Thramas system? During the Thramas, I don't know how to fucking say it, guys. I'm illiterate. Thramas Crusade. If you guys watched my first video I made, this is like a sidetrack. My first video I made was I didn't know how to say shit. Because I don't listen to audiobooks. I don't listen to like how other people say character names. So I was saying a lot of things wrong, and I didn't know that until I posted that video. I literally thought Lorgar was Logar. Literally. Who let me read? Who taught me how to read? I guess no one. I'm an animal. I'm a cow. But quite a silly moment. But where was I going? Yeah, Kurz. Yeah, he did a lot for the traitors, and I wish he was like, I feel like his character arc was pretty good. He got a lot of action during the Imperium Secundus. He fucking gave Vulcan so much trauma. I really like Kurz. I think he's one of my favorite traitor Primarchs, just because he's so demented. He's just so demented, and he's such a good duelist. No one gives him credit. He fights freaking the Lion and Girlyman at the same exact time, and he holds his own. He's so cool. Like, he's really demented, which I love about some of the traitor Primarchs. Like Fulgrim, super demented. Kurz, super demented. Do we give him a kiss though? Look at his face. Look at his fucking face, guys. What's going on here? I don't think we want to smooch him. I think if we got close to Conrad Kurz, he would grab my freaking lips and skin them. I think that's what would happen. Yeah, I don't think we want to be kissing him. He looks really gross too, I'm not gonna lie. He looks like more emo than Conrad Kurz. I mean, Corvus Corax, but does he deserve a smooch? Yeah, he does. Conrad Kurz, he just kind of gets screwed over. He lands on this criminal planet, surrounded by criminals, of course, Dadoy, and he tries to clean things up, you know, the way he thinks should be done. And obviously, that's not the smartest decision to, you know, just start killing people, but that's kind of what happens. And the Emperor finds him and gives him his legion, and then he doesn't really fit in with the rest of the Primarchs, and no one seems to even listen to him. He tries to tell Fulgrim about his visions, and then Fulgrim tells Dorn, and then Dorn isn't very, you know, emotionally available, and then he's like, hey, Kurz, knock it off, and then Kurz tweaks out and like almost kills Rogal Dorn. And you know, it sucks because, like, imagine you can see the future and you know that everything's about to hit the fan and you can't do anything about it because your brothers will not listen to you. Like, that would suck. And then he goes back to the planet he came from, which he cleaned up, and he realizes that it's actually, the situation has gotten a lot worse, and is actually, his whole legion is full of criminals. Like, imagine that. You're Batman. You have an army of genetically engineered Banes, and you think you cleaned up Gotham, and you come back, and the whole place is just full of Jokers, and there's a bunch of ketamine running around, and you're like, holy shit, what happened to Gotham? So, yeah, it sucks, and he blows up his planet. And, you know, he wants to get vindicated by the Emperor killing him. So, I mean, I understand why he joined Horus. He's just not really mentally stable. Therapy would have done a lot for him. I really like his character, though. I liked the way they went with him during the heresy. He got a lot of cool moments. He got glazed, honestly. He got really glazed. I don't know. I think the authors really wanted to show off Conrad Kurz, but I like Conrad Kurz's character. I think if we tried to kiss him, he would murder me and flay my skin alive. So we would not probably get close to kissing Mr. Conrad Kurz. I think it would be too precarious, but I really think he deserves a kiss. And I don't know if he deserves to be in B tier, but I like his character, and I think he deserves to be smooched, but I think we couldn't even get close to kissing him. I'm going to put him in... Guys, this is a tough one. I want to put him in B tier behind L. Johnson, because I feel like I liked his character. I think he really needs to get kissed, guys. He needs a good smooch on the lips. But I don't think I want to kiss him. You know what I mean? Like, it's a paradox. Because if I tried to kiss him, he would fuck me up. He would fuck my shit up. And I think a lot of these Primarchs would. But he would fuck me up. I think I'm going to put him... This is a hot take. I'm gonna put him in front of the lion. Whoa, crazy take. Okay, let me explain myself. The lion, I don't really like his character. I don't really like it that much. I think we could kiss him. I think the lion would give us a kiss. Or maybe he wouldn't. Maybe he'd knock our heads off like Nemiel. I don't know. But I think I just like Conrad more. I think he's a cooler character, and I think he definitely deserves a kiss more than Lion L. Johnson. In my professional opinion. That's just me, though. Yeah, shit. Not the, I don't know if that's, like, the right decision to make, but fuck it. I'm gonna leave Kurz at B tier ahead of Johnson. I would love to smooch Conrad Kurz. He could probably see it coming, too. Man, what a weird video. Okay, Sanguinius. This is an easy one, guys. Like, come on. Sanguinius is, like, he's like the character. Like if he was alive during 40K, everything else would be so much better. But obviously he's not, and everything just sucks because Sanguinius dies. That's like why the authors killed him off. Like that's why even before the Horus Heresy written, that was one of the fundamental parts of the lore, was that Sanguinius is dead. He's dead that his son's got backlash PTSD, which is crazy. But I love Sanguinius' character. His whole thing of knowing when he's gonna die and still going and fighting Horus is so cool. It's so cool. And what he does throughout the heresy, where he gets back to Terra, even though he knows he's gonna die there, he fights a masterclass defense where he just goes around destroying things, battling traitors, killing demons and demon primarchs, Angron, mind you, with the knowledge that he's not going to die today. And his speech at the Eternity Wall, oh my god, made me feel something, guys. It was crazy. It was crazy. He's just awesome. Sanguinius is probably one of my favorite Primarchs. And you know what's crazy? I just realized, if I put him in S tier, all the Primarchs at the Siege of Terra will be in S tier. And it makes sense. They all deserve kisses. Lots of kisses. I would. And I mean, look at Sanguinius, guys. This is a fucking man right here. The golden locks, he's got wings. He's literally an angel. He's literally an angel. It's like Anakin. Are you an angel? Literally. Like, okay. He's a great character. 100% would kiss him. Easy S tier. He definitely deserves a smooch. This is an easy one. Sanguinius is an easy one. I think everyone should agree here. Sanguinius is the peak of peaks. And oh boy, Ferrus Manus. Oh man, Ferrus Manus just got screwed over in the lore, guys. Like, he didn't stand a chance in the lore. Like, he's predestined to be killed off, so none of the authors really write about him. And then when he dies, the Iron Hands, they're already a shattered legion, so there's no lore really about them, except for like Shadrach Medusan, so that's about it. So he gets like, him and his whole legion just get screwed over in the lore. And I don't hate him as a character, but I just don't really care about him, and I feel like a lot of people don't care about Ferrus Manus. He's just kind of like there. He's just there and he gets his head cut off. He's pretty much a plot point. He's a plot point for Fulgrim. That's literally Ferrus Manus. That's all I could say about him. And in the books he is in, he's just an asshole. Like in his own Primarch novel, he fails to take over a planet. Like, why would you do that in a Primarch novel centered around Ferrus Manus? You make him look like an idiot. Like, he literally... So, some backstory on that is Ferrus Manus knows that the Emperor is going to elect someone to be War Master, and he wants to show off his skills. So, he goes to take over a compliance from an Ultramarine Chapter Master, and he utterly fails. Every action he does in that novel is terrible. And when Fulgrim tries to come help him, Girlyman, he just is an idiot. He gets other Space Marines killed. He blows up things that are. He just does stupid things, guys. I don't know how to elaborate more on it. He's just stupid. Like, the authors did not do him any favors in his own Primarch novel. It's crazy to me that Games Workshop approved that story. I don't understand it. And then in the Horus Heresy, he's in there for what? One book, in the Fulgrim book, and he dies. And that's about it. He charges in like an idiot, gets killed by Fulgrim. That's it. And I think maybe he's in Master of Mankind technically, because he's like a Legion of the Damned avatar summoned by the Emperor. But that's about it, guys. That's Ferrus Manus in a bucket. That's it. I don't really care for his character. It's hard to like shit on Ferrus Manus when like he just kind of gets screwed over in the lore, man. Like all all he did was exist. And the authors said, I don't like that. Let's make him worse. Let's make his Primarch novels suck, and then let's make him just an idiot. And then we have all these moments throughout the heresy where it's like, Horus is like, damn, I wish Ferrus Manus was with me. Or Girlyman said, oh, I wish the Dauntless Few were with me, and Ferrus Manus is a member of that. But I'm like, why? Why would you want this guy? He's an idiot. He's an asshole. He's an idiot. He doesn't bring anything to the table besides being an antisocial loser. And you want him on your team? Like, what? I frankly don't understand it. Yeah, so I don't really care for Ferrus Manus' character, and Games Workshop really didn't help with that. So I don't really care for his character. But look at his freaking face. He's a brick. He's literally Perturabo, but with black hair and big metal arms. So I don't think he's like good looking. He's kind of a brick wall, guys. He's an iron brick. He's an iron hand. He's an iron face. He's Iron Man. Is this Robert Downey Jr.? I'm just kidding. Yeah. So I don't think he's a good character. He just kind of gets shafted. I don't think he's very good looking. Does he deserve a kiss? Yeah. I feel so bad for Ferrus Manus. I feel so bad for Iron Hand fans. You guys are just destined to be screwed over. Like, the Khan and White Scar fans got so lucky during the heresy that they got given like a good author like Chris Wright. Ferrus Manus, he doesn't even get like his only Primarch novel he gets shit on. And he deserves a kiss, man. All you Iron Hand fans deserve a kiss. And honestly, I don't know where this video is going, guys. I'm like low-key just ranting at this point. I'm kind of here for it. Which Primarch would I kiss? More like, which Primarch do I hate? Whatever. Yeah, but definitely a good-looking guy. Wait, no. Actually, I'm kind of looking at him more. No. I think I saw him in the light. His picture is not bad, actually. Second thoughts, maybe? He's definitely deserves a kiss. I don't care for his character, so where do we put him? I think he's better than Perturabo. I'm going to put him right here. I'm going to put him ahead of Perturabo. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for him. It's just his character. He's a better version of Perturabo, but Perturabo gets more lore than him. If only he got more lore, I could maybe think about kissing him more. I just don't like his personality. Sucks. He's an asshole. All right, Angron is next. Oh boy, the butcher's nails are going, brother. Angron's tough. I actually really like Angron. I like his character. He's one of my favorite Trader Primarchs, surprisingly. He just kind of gets screwed over by everything, and I kind of love it. I kind of love that about him. Let's just dissect Angron. So, Angron, he just kind of gets screwed over from the very beginning. Butcher nails get put in his brain. You can't remove him or he'll die. And the Emperor gives him Space Marines. Another questionable decision by the Emperor, but he gives him Space Marines. And, you know, the whole Legion copies the Butcher's Nails, which all obviously leads them down the path of corruption. And I think what really made me like Angron was the book Betrayer. I mean, I've glazed that book so much, but Betrayer is such a good book. And Angron throughout that, you're just kind of like, wow, this guy just kind of gets screwed over. He just kind of gets screwed over. And it's kind of awesome. Like, you sympathize with a Primarch you would never sympathize with. Something that should have been done with Perturabo or Ferrus or God damn it, Lehman Russ. You know, you actually feel bad for Angron. You're like, whoa, he got done dirty by everyone and everything, and it makes sense that he wants to kill the Emperor, you know? Like, why didn't the Emperor just save, you know, his friends and family? It would have taken maybe an hour. The Emperor. You didn't need that hour to work on the webway, buddy. You probably spent that hour in the bathtub. Like, come on. I don't understand that reasoning. And then he gets turned into a demon without his consent. Not cool, Lowergar. Not cool. Like, it's so... I love that part about Angron. You know, he just gets screwed over so much, which is kind of fucked up to say, but I love that. I love that about Angron. So I already love his character. Now, would I want to kiss him? Would I want to kiss Angron? Probably not. I mean, the dude's personality is not the greatest. He doesn't really sleep. He wants to kill people constantly. He's not very good looking. He's got a whole wire nestle in his hair. So, I mean, there's a lot of things weighing against Angron. He's just kind of gross looking. Does he deserve a kiss? 100%. So, oops. I already like his character a lot. It's a tough one. He probably wouldn't let me kiss him. I don't really want to kiss him, but he deserves one. Fudge. This is tough. I kind of want to put him in B tier ahead of Johnson. That's like the same thing with Conrad Kurz. I like his character, definitely deserves a kiss, but with both of them, they're schizophrenic morons. You know what I mean? They're crazy mother heckers, but I think they both deserve kisses because of how screwed over they got. You know what I mean? I don't even know if I'm making sense. This has been like almost over. It's probably over an hour, guys. I'm kind of like ranting just to rant. I hope you guys are liking the video. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Yeah, but I don't think either of these guys would let me kiss them, and I don't think I'd really want to kiss them. You know, Angron would slap the shit out of me and take my skull, and then Kurz would flay me alive. But I think they both deserve kisses, and I think I like both their characters, so let's put them in B tier. Girlyman. Reboot Girlyman coming in. I like his character. I think Reboot Girlyman is one of my favorite Primarchs. And he's like pretty generic, but I really kind of like that about him. You know what I mean? He's like the only normal child in a family full of schizophrenics, murderers, just terrible people, and he's kind of like the only normal one. He has a normal family, he was raised by someone, and he's actually like kind of like decent, even though the Imperium just sucks. Yeah, Reboot Girlyman, I do really like him. I like his personality. He's actually like a really cool dude. He might brag to be about Excel spreadsheets for hours and hours and hours and hours. So that would kind of suck. But overall, he's a pretty chill guy. Do I want to kiss him? He looks like a normal blonde guy. So maybe. I'd be down. Does he deserve a smooch? Yeah, he just kind of wanders in to Terra and everything's just blown up. His dad's on life support. Dorn's sad. Sanguinius is dead. Yeah, he definitely deserves a kiss. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like all the loyalist Primarchs are going into S tier. And maybe, I don't know if he deserves to be in S tier. Like, he's just kind of bland. He's kind of vanilla. So I feel like, you know what? We're going to put him right behind Fulgrim. He deserves a kiss. I would kiss him. He's just too vanilla. He's too vanilla for me, guys. Let's put him in A tier. Oh boy. It's the walking fridge. Mortarion is coming in next. The Plague Daddy. Now, Mortarion, I like him a little bit. I don't really understand why he fell to chaos in the first place, just because his dad decided to take the kill for him, and he just kind of harbored that resentment for, decades and decades, and he's like, I'm going to get that guy. So, I mean, he also doesn't like Psychers, but then he sides with Horus, who is obviously using witchcraft. So I don't really understand that, Morty, you're not very smart. So we got that. His personality, not the greatest. He's kind of an asshole, like most of the other Primarchs. Deserves a kiss, though. He wouldn't let me kiss him. He'd probably take my head off with his scythe, but I think he really deserves a kiss. So, where to put him? He gets really screwed over in the heresy, so he definitely deserves a kiss. You know what? I'm gonna put him in C tier, ahead of Perturabo. I feel like that's a pretty good spot for him. I like some parts of his character. I'm not a big fan of the Death Guard and Morty in general, but I think he just kind of puts himself in a bad position, and then he's kind of like, whoa, shocked when he's fighting with all these psychers and stuff. And then it's kind of like ironic as hell that he ends up becoming a demon Primarch. So, I mean, that's all I kind of like that part about his arc, but his personality sucks. Not a very good looking guy. He looks bald like all the other traitor Primarchs. I mean, it makes you think, were all the traitor Primarchs mad about being bald or balding? Raises the question, did the Emperor have bad genetics? It's possible. But yeah, I'm putting him in C tier. Magnus. Come on, guys. Like, this is even a question. I can't put him in front of Sanguinius, but I'm such a Magnus man at heart. I'm an MM. I'm a Magnus man. Magnus man-eater. Whoa. What the hell is wrong with me? Magnus? Look at that mane. Have you ever guys looked at those pictures of Magnus? He's just jacked. Like all the other Primarchs, but Magnus is fucking jacked. Okay, let's talk about Magnus the Red. This is a long video, guys. I'm like going nuts. Magnus the Red. He's like the classic definition of the path to damnation. I've said this before. The path to damnation is full of, good decisions or good choices. Or what's the word? I'm an idiot. I'm like going nuts, guys. This is actually a video on watching a YouTuber trying to rank Primarchs based on their kissing ability go south. Wow. I'm like cackling like a madman. Yeah, Magnus, his hubris kind of screwed him over. So I think he's a good character. He's just kind of an idiot. Breached the webway, idiot decision. He's definitely a looker. Look at that hair. Redhead though. Oof, not a fan. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but Magnus the Red, he definitely made a lot of stupid decisions, but at the end of the day, he's my GOAT. He did nothing wrong. He definitely deserves a big kiss with tongue. Crazy. He's got a lot of knowledge too, so definitely want to be kissing that man. We'll put Magnus in S tier. Oh boy, it's Horus. It's Horus time. The man who truly is the Warhammer 40,000. Horus is tough because his Fall to Chaos sucks. His Fall to Chaos really sucks. But he's got a lot of charisma, so I'd probably be down. I'd probably be down to kiss the man. I mean, he's bald though. I don't know. It's a tough one. I think Horus, I like his character throughout the Heresy. I think his corruption was done really poorly, but I think that's because they just didn't know how many books they were going to write. So that kind of just went south. But I like Horus, and I like Horus and Horus Rising, and I like Horus and Slaves to Darkness. But by the Siege of Terra, though, Horus is just a puppet. He's not really Horus Lupercal anymore. You know what I mean? He's literally just a Chaos Muppet. So it's hard to really debate that, but he definitely deserves I don't know if he deserves a kiss. He's kind of a dick. He's kind of a dick. But his charisma, though, you know what? I'm going to make I like Horus and Horus Rising. The rest, though, not so much. Tough one. I'm going to put Horus right here. I think B tier is perfect. I think the charisma, and I mean, besides his bald ass head, he's a decent looking guy. Let's put him in B tier. I think B tier is pretty good. Oh boy, Lorgar. I do not like Lorgar. He sucks. He sucks. He's very instrumental in the Horus Heresy. He's the sole reason why it kind of happens. You know what I mean? Lorgar is the reason why. And, it's, once again, the Emperor's fault. Why did he decide to firebomb his planet? Why was that the first decision the Emperor made? He's like, hey, Girlyman, come here. Let's go firebomb your sibling city. Why, Dad? Oh, he's worshiping me for the last 100 years. Why didn't you tell him earlier, Dad? Well, I wanted to keep it a surprise. And he just goes and firebombs his city, and, instead of saying, hey, Lorgar, let's ease back on that worship. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. The Emperor's an idiot. The Emperor's the worst dad. He needs to go to therapy to talk about why he decided to do all these things. Because it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, Lorgar, I understand why he fell to chaos. The Emperor's a dick. The Emperor is not a good dude. None of these guys are good dudes, to be honest. They're committing genocide on the daily during the Great Crusade. So there's that. He's also bald. That's a downgrade. Got the charisma, got the holy aura, but I just don't really like Lorgar. He's just, I think I like him more than Perturabo and Leman Russ, that's for sure. I definitely don't want to kiss him. I don't think he deserves a kiss. I'm going to put him, it sucks because I think all the traitors are the traitors are going to throw him down in the list because they're just pieces of shit. You know what I mean? And they're usually all bald. I'm telling you, there's a correlation. There's a correlation. I think I'm going to put Lorgar right here. Right ahead of Morty and Perturabo. I feel like I like his character arc throughout the Horus Heresy. How he manipulates the events of the Horus Heresy, how his legion has been corrupted for 40 years and no one knows. The First Heretic's a great book, by the way, if you guys want to check that one out. But I do really like Lorgar. But I don't think I'd kiss him. I think he'd put something in my mouth that I don't want in there. And it'd be gross. Grody. All right, Vulcan's next. Vulcan, I love Vulcan, man. He's such a good guy, and he just gets, Kurz tortures him. He can't die. Vulcan blows him up in the webway. His character gets screwed over by the writers, but he's such a great character, and I just like who he is. He has a great personality. He's got great face features. I'm gonna give him an A tier. We're gonna give Vulcan an A tier. I would definitely kiss that man. Enough said. Vulcan is A tier. His character kind of gets butchered in the Horus Heresy, but who doesn't? Not as bad as Ferrus Manus. But yeah, I think A tier is a good spot for our man Vulcan. Saves civilians, protects those who don't have, protection, can't die. Cool dude. Yeah, I'd kiss him. Corvus Corax, the Emo Bird Boi, the man you never see. This is a tough one. Corvus Corax is a weird character because he gets a lot of action during the Dropside Massacre. He fights 2 Primarchs, almost kills one, and then he just kind of disappears. And I've done a video on Corvus Corax about the book Deliverance Lost and how that just sucked. That whole book, what they did with Corvus Corax sucks. He just kind of he's just in the background attacking traitor supply lines. Okay, why didn't you give him a bigger role or something? But so he's just in the background doing absolutely nothing pretty much except attacking traitor supply lines, which sucks. He could have gotten such a bigger spotlight. I wanted Corvus to fight Alpharius. That's what I wanted to happen. Deception versus stealth. The 2 legions that, could be perfectly paired against each other. But of course, Games Workshop is stupid, so that didn't happen. But I do like Corvus Corax. I like his character. I think he got shafted. Definitely would kiss him. He's got that whole emo look for him. He's super emo, probably super cool to talk to, loves probably super cool metal music. And I think he definitely deserves a kiss. Let's put him B tier or A tier. Let's put him in, I don't know, that's a tough one. I feel like Corvus, I'm going to put him in, B tier or A tier. See, I feel like I like his character a lot, but also he kind of scares the shit out of me. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Look at him. He's like got a point. He looks like Severus Snape. He looks like Severus Snape had sex with a raven. That's what Corvus Corax looks like. I think I'll pass. All right, Alpharius. Last one. I don't know how long this video is, guys. I'm like ranting. It's crazy. This is a funny video. Alpharius. Another bald cunt. The last traitor on our list. I don't know how I feel about Alpharius. I feel like I liked his role, kind of, but then his fall to chaos doesn't make sense. It's like, why did you trust these aliens to betray the Emperor? Like, does that really make sense? Because I feel like it really doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? He just trusts these random aliens, but I don't know. I don't really like that fall, but I feel like he could have been really utilized a lot more. So I mean, he's okay. He looks like a normal individual. I think he's like the only traitor Primarch that is a normal individual. So I think he looks like a pretty cool guy. I would hang out with him. We'd probably play a lot of Clue. I'm a big fan of Clue. So we'd probably play a lot of board games where he would try to gaslight the shit out of me, which is kind of lit. I love being gaslit. It's like top 10 favorite activities is getting gaslit. I'm like going psychotic. What the hell? Yeah, but Alpharius, I would kiss him. He kind of looks like Horus. You know what he looks like? He looks like fucking, who's that guy from Superman? What's his name? Is it Luthor? Yeah, it's what's his name? Superman versus Luthor. Is it Luthor? I'm looking it up. I need to get to the bottom of this. Luthor? Superman's... Oh my god. Whatever. Yeah, he looks like the villain from Superman. Which is kind of cool. Kind of goes hard. I think he'd let me kiss him, actually, too. You know what? I am Alpharius. We're putting him in A tier. Crazy take. I think I'd love to make out with Alpharius. What is this video, guys? What do we got going on here? I can't believe I convinced myself to do an hour-plus video on which Primarchs I would kiss. And I feel like the guidelines kind of changed throughout the video. Like, it's just kind of pure nonsense. But I'd put him in A tier. I'd put Alpharius in A tier. We'd have some crazy board game nights. Yeah. Yeah, his personality would be crazy. He'd just gaslight me, and I'm here for it. So let's recap here, guys. Sanguinius 1, Magnus 2, Dorn 3, the Khan 4, Fulgrim 5, which is crazy. I picked that guy at 5. Maybe because he's like Slanesh favored or the tongue crazy. What the fuck? What am I saying? Girlyman 6, Vulcan 7, Alpharius 8, Corax 9, Horus 10, Kurz 11, Aenron 12, the Lion 13, Ferris 14, Lorgar 15, Morty 16, Perturabo 17, and the bitch dog himself 18. I feel like it's a pretty solid list. I mean, how long is this video, guys? I'm kind of curious to see how long it is, but that's it. I'd kiss Sanguinius, obviously, number 1. I think that's pretty easy. But yeah, let me know down in the comments which Primarch you would kiss. This video is just pure nonsense, so I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I can't believe I'm looking at my clock right now. Wow. An hour, and it's almost an hour and a half. What the hell? Crazy, guys. Pure crazy. But yeah, I'm so excited with just how the channel's going, and I'm excited just like that you guys love the videos. I'm actually pretty surprised that just how everything's going, and I love it. Yeah, but this has been a falling cow. We have ranked all the Primarchs on which ones we'd kiss. The rankings of, you know, from greatest to most desirable to least desirable. Obviously, him and Russ is never last. That guy sucks. But yeah, Hope you enjoyed this pure nonsense. Leave a like. Tell me which Primarch you would kiss and why it's not Lehman Russ. And I'll see you in the next video. I think the next one planned will be which Primarch will return next. It's going to be another kind of rant video. I'm trying these out because the scripts take so long to write, guys. I'm not saying I'm going to stop doing that, but if you guys like the rant videos, like the rant forums, I can get out even more content. But if you guys don't, it's not a big deal. I can go back to the scripts because the scripts are definitely well formatted, unlike this video where it's just pure nonsense. But yeah, you just listened to a Falling Cow rant about the Primarchs for an hour and a half. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay milked. I will see you in the next video.